Okay, so now we're going to do trunk flexion and extension range of motion measurements. The first one we're going to do is trunk flexion. Trunk flexion occurs in the sagittal plane. It has a firm end feel and there is no normal value for this. So there are two methods. One method is to have the person flex as far as they can, and then we take the tape measure and we go from the distal end of their long finger perpendicular down to the floor. But that's more of a measurement of hamstring flexibility and overall trunk flexibility as opposed to just pure trunk flexion range of motion. So my instructions to the patient, I'm going to give her from the front. And of course, the position of our patient is shoes off, feet shoulder width apart. And that's the proper position for the patient. And I'm going to give her the instructions. So Suzanne, what I want you to do is I want you to bring your chin to your chest, and then one segment at a time, I want you to slowly roll your back down, and then I want you to bring your hands down toward the floor as far as you can. Good, and come on back up. And she looks good. What we want to do is we want the patient to avoid being an excessive knee hyperextension, and we also don't want them to be in a lot of knee flexion either. So pretty straight, we want the knees pretty straight. So I'm going to come to the back of the patient to take my measurement for the trunk. I'm going to use a tape measure, and my two points of contact are the C7 spinous process and the S1 spinous process. So the C7 spinous process, if we have her bring her chin to her chest and then come back up, hers is nice and visible. And S1 spinous process, we're going to find the iliac crests. We're going to come across, that's approximately at the L3, L4 junction. So if I come down, the first spinous process that I palpate is L4. If I keep coming down inferiorly, that's L5. And then the next one that I palpate is S1. So I'm going to line up my tape measure between C7 and S1, and I'm going to use centimeters because it's more accurate, and I'm going to get my measurement here, which is 49 centimeters. And then I'm going to say, Suzanne, would you please do that same motion where you bring your chin to your chest first, and then slowly roll all the way down. And I let the tape measure move, but I keep my spot where S1 was. And then I take my measurement, which is 59, and you can come on back up. And so I'm going to record the difference between 49 and 59, which for Suzanne is 10 centimeters of trunk flexion range of motion. Do we have enough time to keep going into extension? Plenty of time. Okay. So now we're going to do trunk extension. I'm going to come back to the front of my patient to give her some instructions. Trunk extension also occurs in the sagittal plane, and it has a firm end feel, and there's no normal value for trunk extension. The instructions to the patient are going to be to put your hands on your hips, and I want you to find a spot on that wall and don't take your eyes off of that spot. And what you're going to do is you're going to arch your back, but not your neck. So the incorrect way would be to do this with your head back. We don't want you to strain your neck, so keep your eyes focused on something on the wall. Let's see how that looks. Okay, good, and come back up. All right, so that looked pretty good. So again, I'm going to come to the back of the patient, and I'm going to use the same exact points of measurement. So we've got from C7 spinous process to S1 spinous process, she's starting at 49 centimeters. And then again, I'm going to just let the tape measure run through my inferior hand here so I don't lose the S1. All right, Suzanne, so if you can keep your eyes on that spot on the wall and arch back as far as you can. Okay, and take a little break. Come on back up. So that's 43 centimeters, so 49 minus 43 is 6 centimeters of trunk extension.